Second Peter is one of my favorite books in the New Testament because it is so simple. It's actually written by Peter himself. At this time, he's an old man, and he writes in the first chapter about making your calling and election sure. Make sure that you are a Christian. Make sure, and how do you make sure? By adding to your faith goodness, to goodness knowledge, to knowledge self-control, to self-control perseverance, to perseverance godliness, to godliness affection, and to affection love. In other words, grow in all these things, all of them together, and it'll prove that you belong to God. And then he talks about prophecy, and he says, no prophecy comes into being by some guy making it up. It comes into being by God driving them through his Spirit. You know, when David wrote, they have pierced my hands and my feet in Psalm 22, 700 years before crucifixion was invented, he talked about the piercing of hands and feet. That's God's Spirit driving David to do that. The same word used for the Spirit driving these men is the word used for the storm driving the boat in the book of Acts for 2 weeks, where the boat ran before the storm. The second chapter deals with false teachers and the evil that they produce. If you've ever seen or read the book Hold Hands and Die, the story of Jim Jones, who had a great church and did a great work at first and then became a cult leader. I just saw on TV the story of David Koresh, another cult leader, people who begin to elevate themselves, and their purpose is to lead women into bed and to sin. And 2 Peter says that these are men who are like mist driven before a storm. They're completely out of control of their own lusts. And then the third chapter, I absolutely love the third chapter. It talks about the judgment day. And he says everything that exists, he says the heavens will pass away with a hiss, and the earth itself will melt, and all the elements will melt away and be dissolved. And he says, as a result of that, since we know everything's going to be destroyed like this, what kind of people should we be?